Hey, good evening, everybody. It's me, Lynn Renee McDonald, for Practical Spirituality Live here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Many of you may know that last weekend, Sophia, my daughter Sophia, and I went to Florida. We went down to Orange City, Florida, with some friends and clients of ours for the weekend. And while it didn't exactly turn out in the way that we had planned, because we weren't feeling good, and then some other things came up, but overall, it was the best vacation, or it wasn't even really fully a vacation because we did some research work for our spiritual stuff. So, because I never seem to be able to shut off sometimes when I need to quit working and take a break. That's one of my challenges. So, thank you, God, for me being free of that in the best way from love, in my soul, and in all I am, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is, in the best way for me and all or something better. And thank you, God, for that, for us, all of us, for you too. All right. So we went down to Orange City, Florida. The plan was to go do a lot of different stuff, but we both didn't feel good. One of us, both days, we both didn't feel good on and off. So by the third day, it was Sunday. And we felt better, so we decided to go on an airboat trip. But what was crazy, and this is why I'm telling you this story, it's not just to tell you about my vacation times here on YouTube, right? Vacation time, I'm sure plenty of people could speak about that, a dime a dozen. I don't know how interesting their trips might be. Probably a lot of fun. Probably better than ours was this time in a different way. But the truth is, ours was the best that it could be because we asked Spirit for that, okay? So, but what's interesting is by the time Sunday came around, Sophia and me were feeling much better, and we wanted to go and do something, and we were trying to plan something, whether we were going to go on a canoe trip or we were going to go on an airboat. We had never been on an airboat. It was a blast. We just fucking loved it, right? So during this time, somewhere on this trip, the whole time, somehow the thought of an alligator came to mind, right? Either somebody said it in the rental car, somebody said it, it came up, then somebody wanted to go see alligators, and I couldn't get my mind off the alligator. I incessantly wanted to go see an alligator. Now, I've seen alligators before, and I've been to all kinds of places where they have alligators, right? I love reptiles. They're really, really neat. I love animals in general, However, I couldn't get this alligator off of my mind. I said, Sophia, alligator keeps coming in and alligator keeps coming in, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm talking to Spirit. I'm like, why do I incessantly want to go see an alligator? What's the truth here? What's the God's honest truth? Because when stuff like this happens and you get an urge to do something, it is your highest heart self, your soul saying to you, hey, you need to do this. You need to do this. So whenever it's an animal, I have to think about what the animal does and the connection for me with that animal. What are his gifts? What are his tools? What does it have that he has that I could use or that would behoove me to have in my life? So I can just ask God for those gifts, and thank you, God, for that for us. The gift of alligator, the gifts of alligator, the alligator brings to the table that are best for my soul from love, right? So thank you, God, for that for Sophia, me, and all you guys, if you so desire them, in the best way for us and all or something better, and any blocks in us that stops that from happening, clear, heal, and change all that in us. And thank you, God, for that for us. So me and Sophia are drawn to go on the boat trip, and I can't get that alligator out of my mind no matter what. Now, many times what I would naturally do, and we did this, we looked up alligator. What are the meanings of the spiritual meanings of alligators? On Google, there's lots of different definitions. The internet is information highway. There is a lot of different sites, information to get on alligators and the spiritual gifts that the alligator brings, as well as the everyday real world gifts that the alligator brings in Earthworld, right? So, but again, my soul is calling this in because I cannot seem to get a whole time alligator, 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 alligator. And I'm feeling in my heart space like I incessantly need to see an alligator, right? So, and then we were looking through the internet again because it's a great informational tool to find things, right? God is so amazing bringing everything to us right here at our fingertips, right? Just like in the internet, right? So, So we're looking for places and ways to see an alligator. And of course, zoos, and not that zoos are bad, but whenever I tend to get in a zoo space or any space that is not natural and healthy and the best amount of freedom and love in the highest form for the animal or myself, it becomes toxic to me. So I have a real aversion to seeing animals in cages and animals, I can understand the whole concept of preservation, trying to save an animal. Where I have an issue is when it is a healthy animal and it could really, it hurts me in my heart I want the animal to be free. That's what love energy being is. It is having total and complete freedom, autonomy, whatever it is that you need. That is all that has to do with freedom. So I have a huge issue with animals not having freedoms. And I understand that sometimes they help the animals by providing a home for them, or the animals are somehow broken and wouldn't have a home. I get the whole concept of that. So clearly we have some spirit work to do on this in the future of clearing, healing, changes, and creation that are the best for the best concepts, understanding, ideas, ways to change all of this from love and make this the best in me from the highest form of love, as well as out here in Earth World from the highest form of love, the best solutions, gifts, love energy creation for all animals to have total and complete freedom, and ourselves from the highest form of love, and all the best belief systems, the ways, or the way to be from love, right? Not necessarily belief systems, but the way to be from love that is best for us, best for them, and all, and most abundant from the God's honest, unconditional love, truth, and wisdom, and abundance, the top level of that, and this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us, right? So that's how you do it. When you have any issues or things come up or you're not comfortable with them, you ask Source to clear it out. Thank you, God, for that for us and our souls and all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in the best way for us and all, or something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. And simultaneously, you ask to create what you want to happen, and then you clear your blocks from that from happening. The best solutions for love and all wildlife and all animals in the best way, and myself, and on the understanding, so that it's not, so I'm free of any pain or suffering or being uncomfortable with animals in any way, shape, or form, and complete understanding from love of all that is, and especially with this. Thank you, God, for that for us in the best way for us, and or something better from the highest form of love in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. So you're getting a taste of what our vacation was like, our little vacation workation. I guess a workcation would be better said, because we did some work and we did a little bit of vacationing, but then we were sick too. But when you think about it, we worked on our souls. So all of these issues come up, right? And we clear, we heal, we change, we create. Vacation or no vacation. When we're not feeling good, what are we doing? We're doing energy prayer to clear, heal, and change and create what it is that we want with love, right? In the highest form, right? So here we are doing lots of this on our vacation. So all of this said, all of this lovely energy prayer work that we've just done now we're going to ask God. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about, let's say, what happened with the alligator trip. So we go on the alligator trip, right? Alligator thing is fantastic. And during this, we learn a whole shit ton about alligators. And then as that happens, a bell rings in my soul. I go, I know why, right? I know why this bell is ringing in my soul, because this is what I needed to have, the gifts of the alligator, right? So here's one thing. All right, let me just explain to you. The gentleman starts to tell us on the boat all the wonderful gifts in Earthworld that alligators have. Well, they get to be pretty big. So and they are the top on the what is it? They're at the apex, the food chain, right? They're at the top of the food chain, right, in the animal kingdom, right? So they're big, they're protective, they have lots of teeth, they're powerful, they're strong, and they know boundaries. They have boundaries, right? They're also incessantly about their families, right? The mama has babies, and that's what she does. That's what she loves to do. She protects her babies, right? So she is super protective of these babies, right? Just like us with our families. We love our families. We want good things for them. We don't want this to happen. So these are all lovely gifts and tools of the alligator. Powerful swimmer, being able to get around through water, right? being adapt to it or adept, right? Being able to adapt to it too, right? Being able to live on land and sea, all right? And being able to breathe in the water, right? Or breathe, while we're swimming in the water. I mean, so all these gifts, all right, behoove all of us to have from Alligator. Some are literal, some are not, some are both, right? But either way, you can see the bonuses and the benefits, why my soul is calling the alligator in for us, right? So my soul is pushing me to go see the alligator. I get in the alligator's environment. It's a beautiful, amazing experience. If you haven't gone on an airboat, they're so much fun. Fucking go. It's just a blast, right? So something to do for you guys in the future too. So put it out there. Thank you, God, for that for me, and create what you'll want to happen, right? Okay, from love in the highest form, right? Okay, so that said, the alligator also is immune to like bacterial infections and disease for the most part. He has an incredible immune system, right? And who doesn't need that? Thank you, God, for that for us, right? That give those gifts for us of the alligator, right? In the best way for us and all, or something better. And all the gifts that the universe just showed us and taught us and brought to us through the alligator on this trip. So thank you, God, for that for us. So when my soul is telling me to go see alligators, I fucking go see alligators, right? So this is all part of this amazing journey. I think I'm running out of battery here though. So let me just see if I can fix this here. All right. Oh, all right. Sorry about that. Hopefully I got that right. Okay, so we get the alligator, the whole trip going, and we're learning all these things and all these gifts and tools from alligator, right? And thank you, God, for that for us. So, the next thing we find out is that alligators have that immune system. That's amazing, right? And then we also find out, now a lot of this stuff I knew, but it was universe bringing it in so that I would ask for these gifts for our souls, right? These magical gifts of the alligator to behoove us during these times, especially these Pisces, Mercury retrograde times, because Pisces, right, is water energy. And through any kind of water energy time, it, calendar year times, or having to deal with planets in the water energy planets, right? And our intuition and our gifts and anything and everything that has to do with water and emotions, the alligator gifts and benefits will help us with that. So being able to swim through the murky Piscean water, right? Or the murky, cloudy water of Neptune, right? The planet Neptune, the alligator has gifts to do that. The other cool thing the alligator has is he has this, like, he's able to close the back of his throat, right? So when he grabs something to eat it, his throat closes, so he doesn't take in anything that he does not need, or any water that is not healthy for him, right? So who doesn't need those tools as a healer or as a being of energy to be able to take the energy that behooves you the best from love and keep away the stuff that's unwell? As an energy worker, thank you, God, for that for us. So when we work with energy, right, for our best us, right, and we clear things out, we work with different souls, and we work with energy every day, we're empathic, right? So when we do that, the gifts of the alligator totally behoove us in this way. His ability to keep the water out of his throat, the water out of him, out of his body, right? And anything that doesn't serve him other than, let's say, the food, right? That ability to do that, right, is a super gift. So imagine if we could do that for energy. The alligator brings to us those gifts. So when I'm working on somebody's soul, it helps to assist me with the ability to get into somebody's soul without bringing their unwellness or their baggage or their soul stuff back to me, or any kind of negative or unwell energy or energy experiences or stuff back to me. It helps to minimize that. Pretty cool shit. So thanks, alligator, for these gifts for all of us, because anybody who is empathic could certainly even just use these gifts of alligator in everyday life. So thank you, God, for that for us, and the best way for us and all, or something better, right? So the other thing the alligator has, which is really cool, he has like two eyelids. He is able to see, because one closes down for when he's in the water, right? So that he can see what? Clearly through the water. And through these Piscean times where it's delusional and, Piscean meaning this Mercury retrograde Pisces energy, right? Where it's all emotional, it's kind of delusional, it's the sign of self-undoing. We can understand where the ability to have this this eye eyelid that lets us see through the murky water like the alligator, so we can see clearly where we're going after this Pisces energy, Mercury retrograde energy is gone or has passed, as we navigate through these times. So these gifts are amazing for us to see with clarity, to see with focus where we are still going amidst the dark waters and murky waters that we're swimming in during these astrological times, literally, as well as literally here in Earth World. What cool gift that would be, right? So, right? So thank you, God, and thank you, alligator, for these gifts for us. And then he has another eyelid, which closes his eye totally and completely, right? So, of course, he could use that for getting some rest, as could we. Wouldn't it be cool to have a second eyelid, either way, to protect us, to keep the light out when we need to be in the dark and get our best rest, right? Helps us to close things out, right? Close things out, finish things out, get things out of our focus, out of our vision, all right? So many times we don't think literally about these things, or we don't think of these things as metaphysical, but there's so many gifts in everything. And the animal, alligator, the beautiful, amazing, wonderful animal of the alligator or reptile, right, brings us all of these gifts and even so much more. The power of the alligator, the ability to stick up for you, the ability to have boundaries, even in on the land, on sea and air, the best boundaries for you, right? And the ability to navigate through all these things in the healthiest, best way from love for you. That's some cool ass shit. So as each one of these gifts came out, boom, 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 universe is talking to me, boom, 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 right? And I understand why I was brought to this space, why I so incessantly wanted to get to alligator. So thank you, God, for all of these gifts today here, and this YouTube here of being able to share it with you, all these awesome experiences for Sophia and me, and all the gifts of the alligator that are best for us from the highest form of love in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Clear, heal, and change any and all blocks in us that stop that from happening. Thank you, God, for that for us. So the next time you are going away anywhere, whether it's a one-day trip, a 5-minute trip, or universe through your soul with God speaks to you, your highest heart self, and they tell you you need to go do something, you fucking do it. All right? Because this is one of those amazing, enchanting things where you can connect with nature and alligator energy for your own self-healing, right? And if nobody teaches us this stuff, we don't know. The world is so amazing, and our soul naturally brings us to these spaces. So I hope you enjoyed this YouTube. It was awesome for Sophia and me to have this trip, and we wish you many great trips and many great, great, great things from Love Infinitely. All right, have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.